High up in the Nilachal hills of Assam, the heavy summer monsoons trigger a severe and highly localized phenomenon. Each June, the roaring waters of the mighty Brahmaputra River suddenly begin to turn a deep, heavy crimson. In many parts of the world, human menstruation operates under strict societal taboos. Yet on this specific hill, a bleeding earth is an object of intense and profound worship. For exactly 3 days, the heavy doors of the massive Kamakhya Temple complex are chained and locked entirely to the public to observe the Ambubachi Mela. Life in the surrounding villages comes to a complete standstill. Farmers refuse to plow the soil, no seeds are planted, and household hearths remain unlit to let the land rest. During this period, the local community suspends human labor and commerce, aligning its social structure with the internal biological clock of the planet. According to the Kalika Purana, this reverence traces back to the cosmos, following the death of the goddess Sati. Consumed by grief, Lord Shiva carried her across the universe, performing a dance of world-ending destruction. To stop the impending annihilation, the powerful Lord Vishnu intervened, severing Sati's lifeless body with his glowing, spinning chakra. As her remains scattered across the earth, ancient texts state that her womb, or yoni, fell directly upon the precise coordinates of the Nilachal hill. Because of this event, the inner sanctum of the Kamakhya Temple contains no carved idols of metal or stone. Deep underground, there is only a natural rock fissure, kept continuously moist by an underground spring. Devotion at the site focuses on this raw, unaltered stone and the water flowing through it. The site's fearsome reputation is etched directly into the local geography. Legend holds that King Narakasur demanded to marry the goddess, who agreed only if he built a stone stairway to the summit in a single night. Realizing he might succeed, the goddess projected an illusion, forcing a rooster to crow before dawn and tricking the king into thinking he had failed. That unfinished stairway, the Mekalauja path, still exists today. Centuries later, the 16th century king Naranarayan made a much graver miscalculation. Driven by hubris, he peered through a hole in the temple wall to secretly watch the goddess dance. Enraged by this violation, the goddess cast a devastating curse upon the king and his bloodline. If any of his descendants ever looked upon the Nilachal hill, they would face immediate ruin. Even that ancient fear persisted well into the modern era. Decades later, when the former Maharani of Jaipur, Gayatri Devi, flew into Guwahati, she demanded pilots divert their flight path to avoid the airspace above the temple. These stories shape how modern visitors and regional leaders interact with the site's historical weight. Long before these kings ever arrived, the site was already a center of intense devotion that predates standard Vedic practices. Indigenous matriarchal societies, like the Khasi and Garo tribes, practiced ancient nature and fertility worship here. In the Khasi language, an ancestral grandmother is called Kamakhya, a term historian Historiev eventually evolved into the name Kamakhya. During the Ambubachi Mela, this history physically manifests. The surrounding caves and cremation grounds see a visceral convergence of agoris and advanced tantric mystics drawn from all over the subcontinent. For these practitioners, these specific 3 days represent the highest frequency window for esoteric meditation and energy cultivation anywhere on the globe. The mountain effectively absorbs every layer of history, fusing prehistoric indigenous tribal worship with advanced tantric discipline into a single, unified epicenter. On the morning of June 26th, the quiet breaks. The heavy locks are finally removed for the Nivriti ritual, and the temple gates swing open to a sensory overload of chanting and ringing bells. Millions of waiting devotees surge forward, seeking 2 highly specific blessings: Angodak, the holy water from the stone fissure, and Angavastra, pieces of the white cloth that was draped over the stone, now stained completely red. Many also seek the Kamiya Sindoor, a dense, red solid rock extracted directly from the subterranean bedrock, widely believed by mystics to possess fierce protective properties against negative energy. By securing these physical artifacts, believers carry a literal, tangible fragment of the divine feminine's biological cycle back into their everyday lives. But modern researchers approach this exact same phenomenon with a different set of tools, asking what physical mechanics could possibly turn a massive river system completely crimson. This diagram reveals an answer beneath the surface. Subterranean layers are exceptionally rich in iron oxide and cinnabar. When heavy summer monsoons hit, they dissolve these deposits, flushing red minerals directly into the local water table and out into the Brahmaputra. If geological runoff were the only cause, the river would change color during every heavy monsoon shower throughout the year. Instead, the timing remains restricted to a specific 3-day window. The timing of the Ambubachi Mela is dictated by the sun entering the Gemini constellation during the Adra Nakshatra. This celestial alignment was calculated with precision by ancient astronomers long before modern geological science existed. Contemporary chemistry maps the heavy metals producing the color, but the ancient Vedic calendar accurately plotted the timing of the Earth's natural rhythms. The rituals at Kamakhya elevate the raw biological cycles of nature into a universal symbol of power. Whether viewed through empirical geology or ancient esoteric tradition, the Kamakhya Temple remains an enduring celebration of feminine power and the life-giving forces of the natural world. If you found this intersection of science and faith compelling, subscribe and share to explore more of history's great mysteries.